It's time to toss in some larger injectors and keep on tuning. Let's do it. I've been working on tuning the Cruze. Everything's looking pretty good, and I'm at the point where I'm ready to toss in bigger injectors. So let's go ahead and remove the injectors that are in the car and replace them with some 60 pounds. I'm excited about it, and definitely going to be a little bit of a challenge tuning it with the bigger injectors, but I'm sure it'll work out great. Let's do it. Right, Shannon? In order to disconnect the fuel line, I had to get this. This looks like a children's toy. But I believe it's the blue one that we're going to use, and that will disconnect the quick disconnect and bigger fuel injectors to go in. These are 60 pound. I believe the stock ones are 30, so that should cover our added air. Added air. Add fuel, add air, more power. That's what we want, more power. Gee, now comes one of the fun parts is I'm gonna stick this dewormer gobber in there. This quick fuel disconnect tool. Shove it up under here. Gonna take this shirt, cover it up just in case. Pushing it down, sky up. There we go. By the way, I did unplug the fuel pump and ran the car a little bit just to get some of the pressure out. Smell of gasoline. Gasoline. Got everything disconnected. Should just be able to pull this thing out and finagle it out. But always easier said than done. So a note to those, if you are doing a 1.8, this little part right here, you have to turn it so that way it'll come out of its little home, I guess. I don't know, it kind of locks in there like a keyway. The injectors are out. Now it's time to remove these clips here, and we'll jam the new ones in. Injectors are in. I'm writing the tune to the car, and I'll dive a little bit more into the tuning and what I've learned, but I'm still in the learning process. So about 15 seconds we're gonna try and fire this thing up and tune it for the new injectors. Everything's all loaded in. I got my scanner on. Let's blip the key a couple, 2 or 3 times. See what we got. Telling me my homework paid off and I don't have to make any adjustments? Dang, lambda's spot on. Alright, I'm gonna take this for a spin. I'm at it another night. I managed to tune the car without the injectors, put the injectors on as you saw, tuned it, got it pretty close. Man, it was pretty dialed in. It's pretty dialed in. Now I have the turbocharged pipe back on. Just to kind of clarify, I know this timeline might be a little confusing. Initially with tuning, because I'm a tuning noob, I loaded in HP tuners, started tuning the car as is, just stock without any of the turbocharged pipe, any of that going on, with essentially the manifold and the turbo being a glorified hair dryer on the car. Dialed that tune in off of the MAF sensor, got that dialed in, and then I put the fuel injectors in as you saw, made my adjustments, made sure the car is running fine stock with the larger fuel injectors and the turbo on there, and then I would take the turbocharged pipe, put that onto the car, and I would start the tune from there, because at that point I knew my fuel for the idle and all that was dialed in, and then we had the charge pipe, right? As soon as the charge pipe goes on for the turbo, it changes things quite a bit. The MAF sensor wasn't quite reading things quite right because it needed to be scaled. I found it a little more difficult to scale the MAF sensor because I'm all new to this. So what I decided to do was to switch to VE tuning. So later in this video, you'll see me running the car off of VE tuning, completely getting the MAF sensor out of the equation. And this is essentially me learning how to tune this car. I must have logged at least 70 plus something logs to get it to a good point, in which you'll see at the end we start adding some E85. Woo! Alright, let's get back to it. Huge change, huge difference. I'm having to just really pull the fuel out of it, and just the way the dynamics of the turbo are. It's a learning curve for me, but I'm just pulling a bunch of fuel out of it actually, or just pulling the frequency. I don't know. These numbers here were positive, and these lower numbers, they weren't even there. They were just all zero. So I had to start making some adjustments down here. This thing is finished writing. Let's see what it does. So it'll start up, and then I imagine it's probably still, maybe it's starting to settle down a little bit. As you can see, it's kind of all over the place, so I imagine it's probably surging a little bit because it's got too much fuel. So I'm going to pull some more fuel out of it and start the car back up. The ride is complete. Let's see how she does this time. A little happier. I think I got something I can work with, so I'm going to log a little bit of data. And see what I can do with this. Got everything copied in. Let's see what she does with the speed density tuning. Oh man. Alright, so I just need to connect to the vehicle, log some data, and I'm gonna take the vehicle for a spin with the turbo actually hooked up. Shannon, let's go for a ride. Let's see if we can push it into just a touch of boost, maybe 1 or 2 pounds. Get us into an accident. Let's see.
You're riding in the middle of the lane.
See if we can get her into a little bit of boost. A little bit of boost. Give us some of that boost. Oh! It hurt it. It went. Shannon's getting impatient with the boost. She says to give it the beans, but I'm saying that we got to take it in little increments. But I managed to actually run some boost for the first time on this vehicle. 2.9 PSI. It did there was a little bit of knock, about 0.5 degrees, which isn't bad, so I went ahead and added I just pulled out 2 more degrees of timing out of the base table. I've already pulled out about 7 degrees total. So let's see how it does. I loaded the revised tune up into the car. Let's turn her on. It's already idling better. Oh man, this is awesome. So I'm gonna do a little logging. The AFR is where it should be. We got about 0.91, which is looking good. And I'm going to do some more data logging and maybe pull a little more boost. See what it's doing. Maybe go up to 4 or 5 PSI. See what we got. I'm driving around tuning the car and look what this is. It's tow mater. I just talked with the guys. I think it says LS2. This thing is mean. It looks cool too. They said they have Lightning McQueen and a lot of the other casts. And this thing's pretty awesome. Man, it didn't like that. Finally got some blow-off valve noise. I have to go back and check the log, but we're gonna have to fix that real quick. All right, the ride's complete. Let's see if this thing fires up.
This is resource.
Dude.
There you'll find.
Man, I was sweating it. All right, I'm going back to the shop. Here we go again. Jeez. I just need to get this thing on the dyno so I don't have to test all this crap out driving around. Man. Just another day in paradise tuning. It's another lovely day tuning the car. I'm changing out the spark plugs. I added a map sensor from a 1.4 liter, so it should be good to go there. In HP tuners, I increased the RPM as well as the map table. So I'm going to toss these new spark plugs in, load in a new tune, see how it does. See how it does. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Be sure to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and leave a comment below. So that way we can reach more people. And I'm gonna push on and we'll see what kind of power we can make with this little 1.8 liter turbocharged Cruze. Until next time, peace out with your peace out.